Well, nursing has a growing knowledge base, and the students are responsible for a lot more information than they have been even a few years ago. And with the more knowledge that they have to have in order to be successful in a nursing program and to be licensed, it's hard for them to filter and to know exactly what's important. And so that's one challenge. The other challenge is that students have problems sometimes being self-directed, and they have problems with prioritizing their time. And so anything that can help with those things, with managing the amount of knowledge that they have to have, and also with being able to study more productively, that those are probably the two biggest challenges, and anything that can help with that is always welcome.
With PassPoint, we implemented it, we added it into their clinical course, which is their capstone course, over a 10-week period, which is their very last course, and we required them to achieve a certain mastery level in all 8 areas of the NCLEX preparation. So with that, we additionally added weekly quizzes to that, where they would take or exams is what it's called in PassPoint. These exams could be anywhere from 75 to 265 questions. So not only are they having to reach a mastery level in all the areas, but they also are taking quizzes, which helps prepare them to take a computerized exam in a certain time period.
The thing that I like best is the fact that I can go in and I can monitor how the students are doing individually. So when you have the assignments, they're self-directed assignments as well as they're ones that are mandated, you can go in and you can look at an individual student and tell exactly how they're doing, how many questions they've taken, what their mastery level is, what their strengths are, their weaknesses. You can even go in and look at how they do when they take a certain number of questions. So in other words, when they take 75 questions, you can look at the exact time where they achieve mastery. When do they get tired? When do they start missing questions? What type are they missing? And go back and really be able to sit down with the student before you, even before you go in, you can go in and look and know what they've done, and then you can develop a plan for that student that's very individualized. In a roundabout way, one of the things I really like is when I sit down with a student, I can either look at what they've taken and what they've missed and the rationales behind it and the type of questions, or what I'll do a lot of times is sit down with the students and say, all right, let's take a 10-question quiz together. And then now when we're finished, let me get inside your head and let me see what you're doing. And we also can pull up all the rationales and the scores and the masteries. And so it gives me some very concrete information to be able to guide that student into what they need to do next. The best way that I think is it gives me a really good reference point on each student. One of my jobs is that a lot of times we call it remediation. I like to call it enhancement because remediation seems kind of like a negative word. And so one of my jobs is to look at them and enhance their abilities to where they'll be successful. And so with using PassPoint, it gives me so much information, so many graphs, data, mastery levels, and it's really similar to how the NCLEX categories are laid out, that I can get in with the student and pick out the areas that I really want them to go in and focus on. And also the one thing that's been really good is when you have a student who's not that motivated and they come to you and they don't know what to do, you can look in and you can say, look, you've not done very many questions, and so the best advice I can give you is to go in and work first and then come back and see me. So it actually maximizes my time and doesn't have me spend a lot of time with a student who's not motivated. And then if you get a student who is very motivated and still struggling, then you know that you need to really intensely work with that student.
PassPoint has been fantastic for me because I don't have the students in a classroom setting. They're scattered all over the place in the summer, and it's helped me to be able to pull them together as a group and look to see how they're doing. Other NCLEX prep tools that I've used have been, buy yourself a book, turn in X amount of questions, and I can't really keep track of that individual student. I know they're doing questions, but I don't know where they are as far as, are they doing okay? Are they getting these questions right? Is somebody else helping them with the questions? I can see that this student is either doing well or not doing well in what areas. So other tools that I've used have not given me that insight into how that one particular student is doing.
I think that it simulates the experience enough, especially in the comprehensive exams, that they are much more comfortable taking the licensure exam. Their anxiety is not so high because they know that they've been successful answering these questions in PassPoint. So I think that their self-confidence is boosted and test anxiety is lowered. I would say it's going to be very successful. It's going to be a very successful tool in preparing our students for the NCLEX.